Essex, a helping hand with your land.
Neil from Essex here with today's 3-Minute Thursday. Today we're going to have a short conversation about altitude and how it affects the amount of horsepower that your tractor may generate. So when looking at tractor horsepowers, I've always been a big proponent to say that a lot of today's equipment has more horsepower than what it's really able to put to the ground. Every time a manufacturer comes out with a new model, they seem to ratchet these horsepower numbers higher and higher and higher. And for us, a lot of the high horsepower models on a given chassis, we're really only presenting to customers that have specific applications that say can put 39 horsepower in a tractor this size to use. A lot of guys just don't need it. But I was thinking to myself, I give that advice out quite a lot without really ever asking somebody at what altitude they are. If you know anything about altitude, as you go up and the air gets thinner, your engine runs into a problem with what's called volumetric efficiency, right? Basically, the amount of air that's being crammed into that engine is less as you go up in altitude. So about every 1,000 feet that you go up over top of sea level, every 1,000 feet you continue to work your way up, your engine loses around 3 and 4% of its horsepower for every 1,000 feet. So when you start to reach places like a lot of the middle of the country that might sit at 6, 7, 8,000 feet, your engine can have 20-25% less horsepower at that point than it may at sea level. Some of these tractors are turbocharged, and that turbocharger does make up for that difference, but many of our smaller machines are not. And so while I'm very quick to give somebody advice saying, hey, you really don't necessarily need the biggest engine because all that power really goes out to PTO, it doesn't make your loader lift more. If you're in those higher altitude states, you may want to consider it. You know, say at 6,000 feet, an L3901 performs like an L3301 would here, you know, because you've had that 20% loss in horsepower for that higher elevation. So keep that advice in mind. You know, people on the internet are very, very quick to give out a lot of advice and a lot of suggestions, but if you're in those areas, you know, you may want that extra horsepower to be able to have your tractor perform properly. So if you have parts, sales, or service needs for your equipment and we can help, give us a call at Essex, 800-222-3373, or online at Essex.com.